Good afternoon. Today is actually Wednesday, February 8th, but this is Deb Wilkinson, and I've decided that because of the inclement weather tomorrow, the 9th, it would be best to pre-record the webinar, and hopefully all of you will be safe in your homes listening to the pre-recorded webinar. Of course, if you have questions once you listen to it or once you attend, certainly give me a call. I don't expect that we will have the office closed the entire day tomorrow, if at all. But again, just give me a call if you have any questions, since we're not really going to be able to offer the open forum. So let's just get right into it. The new administration, we're going to keep this segment every week because there are changes every week. Obviously, repeal is the goal. We've heard reports that, most likely the repeal will be less quickly than originally predicted. Some reports say summer, and some say for next year. There was also a report that the repeal and replace plan will be submitted almost simultaneously once HHS Secretary Price is confirmed. So that's kind of interesting. We'll see how that goes, but of course we're watching it closely, and we'll let you know as soon as we know anything about any upcoming changes. A lot of talk of the individual mandate, the employer mandate. So hopefully we'll have some change. The new offering we talked about last week, the benefit notice generator. I did include the data collection kit in your handout, so you'll be able to print that out. And again, this is a complimentary offering from URL. If you do your group business through us, then please complete those benefit notice generator data collection booklets, get them over to us, and we will produce the notice. And I actually have an example of what it looks like. This is the sample that HR 360 sent us, so it comes out, this would be the group's name, specifically the group, your group client, and then it goes through the table of contents of all of the notices included. You can see it's a lengthy list, some of the newer ones, non-discrimination notice, and then it really just goes through this 35-page booklet and shows you, all of the notices that are required based on the employer's group size, etc. So it would also have contact information for the group, EIN, everything that your group clients will need to remain compliant. They hand these out for new hires, and of course can hand them out upon renewal for other employees. So there's that that I wanted to bring to your attention. Also, last week we talked a little bit about the 1095 and 1094 grid. I think this is a good, useful tool. This is specific, obviously, to capital, but if you're a small group, fewer than 50, on a fully insured plan, capital or any other carrier is going to send out the 1095Bs to the employees, and they're also going to send the information to the IRS. If you're a large employer, fully insured, the members are sent the 1095Bs from the carriers, and they're sent to the IRS. Then the large employer also has segments of these 1095s and 1094s that they need to complete. Self-insured, of course, burden on small employers and large employers. And in addition, if they're self-insured, if they also offer an HRA, whether they're fully insured or self-insured, the people within the HRA have to also receive the 1095. So just want you to be aware of that. Again, if you have questions, let me know. An event is coming up, and it's going to be held at the Sheraton on Lindle Rd on March 3rd. It's a Friday, and that's from 8 to 12. It is a CPAHU and a GPAHU event. They're going to have 2 CEs. The one is the new regulations and expansion of health reimbursement accounts, and that's from Brad Raymer at Prime Pay. And then John Green, who is the National Association of Health Underwriter Vice President of Congressional Affairs, he'll be coming in and doing a 1-hour CE on the new world of healthcare. So there is a cost if you're a member of NAHU or PAHU. It is $50. If you're a non-member, it's $75. Again, if you have any interest in it, in my newsletter that will be coming out Thursday, the invitation is in there, and I urge you to sign up. Aetna has an announcement that's also in my newsletter. Their Aetna Funding Advantage, their self-insured level funding plan, now goes down to 5 lives, and that is going to be determined by total eligible employees versus total active. So your groups of 5 to 50 have a better chance of looking at these plans and taking advantage of their lower rates. Of course, you know, there is medical underwriting, so it really has to be for the right group. But you know, again, it is another opportunity to write some of those smaller groups, give them some options that might be more financially beneficial to them. And Highmark Survey. Highmark Survey is in this week's newsletter. The deadline is Friday to complete the survey. The survey is all specific to individual health. If you want to do the survey and make your comments about how to improve, etc., I would urge you to click on that link and take a few minutes and complete that survey. Again, just be mindful that the deadline is Friday the 10th, so if you have an interest in looking at it, get my newsletter, look under the product news, and you'll see the Highmark survey. And let's see here. Tax penalty is the greater of the two. There was a question last week about the tax penalty. I'm going to escape out here. And on healthcare.gov/fees, you're going to see all the information. And the correct answer is there are 2 different ways to calculate, as a percentage of household income or per person. So obviously percentage of household is 2.5% of the household income, and per person is $695 an adult, $347.50 per child, the maximum up to $2,085. So this segment on healthcare.gov goes through talking about how to pay the fee, but of note is if you look at the fee, it is the greater of the two. So however if they're using the percentage method, only the part of the household income that's the yearly tax filing requirement above the yearly tax filing requirement is counted, or the per person, you only pay for the person in your household who doesn't have health insurance. There's the prorated amount, but again, this is going to be the greater of the two and the way to calculate it. Just be mindful of that. Okay, let's see here. Highmark, all regions, that fillable PDF for enrollment change forms, that is now on our website. So please utilize that. If you have questions about it, again, just give us a call. So I know that many of you probably have questions. Again, please just give me a call if you have questions. I apologize for any inconvenience this pre-recording is giving you, but again, I had a lot of information I wanted to share, so hopefully you will take some time and listen to this webinar and ask your questions separate from the webinar this week. Hopefully this is our last big snowstorm and we can go quietly into the spring. But as always, if you're listening in, I truly appreciate you tuning in, even to a pre-recording, and again, appreciate the business that you bring to URL and your partnership. So have a great day, have a warm day, not a snowy shoveling day, and a great weekend. Thanks again. Bye-bye.